Welcome back guys, and today we are here with a new deck, and it's bad news generally. I have become one with the enemy, and this is a control deck. I don't think I've actually covered a control deck for like 3 seasons now, and it's generally just because I don't really find the archetype fun to play. But you know, sometimes you gotta scratch that itch, and I did have a hankering to play a control deck, mostly for one card, which we will get onto for a second. But the general idea of the deck is, like I said, it's pretty standard control. We run a bunch of counter spells, card draw, removal, get to the late game, win with a unstoppable bomb, with a bunch of counter protection, etc, etc. Generally the plan of the deck. You've probably seen control before, and if you haven't, you're the luckiest person alive. So as is tradition, don't really want to go through some of the old cards like you know, counter spells, murder, glimmer of genius. So I will just focus on some of the newer, more exciting cards. Because Control got a lot from Amonkhet. It got a lot of new toys to play with, and that is why people are getting excited about Control again. So anyway, first card, Pull from Tomorrow, bang, starting off with probably the most hyped card from the expansion for Control Mages. Draw X cards and then discard a card. So this is very good. It's a X draw spell which is fairly costed. Generally, I mean, you have to discard a card which isn't fantastic, but it's not the end of the world if you're casting this for like 10. But it's very good. I mean, if you resolve this for like 6+, and your like the board state is fairly stable, you're not losing that game. It's that simple. Very powerful card, and you can also cast it on like turn 5 if you absolutely have to like draw 3, if you're like digging for like a sweeper or something. I'd say this card was very controversial when it was spoiled. Some people were saying it was very good, some people were saying it was very bad. I was firmly in the very good camp. I thought this card was very potent, and I stand by my assessment, and I think people have kind of moved towards Censor as a good card, because early game it is just counterspell, because people will be playing their spells on curve. They won't be going, well, okay, well, I'll play my 2-drop on turn 3 when they've got a 3-drop in hand, sort of thing. So early game this is just counterspell, and then the minute it starts getting a bit dicey, they start playing like 4-drops on turn 6, etc, etc. Then you just cycle this and it becomes a 1-mana draw card, instant speed for blue, which to be honest blue decks would take. So I'm very happy with this card. I would run more if we could, but 3 is plenty. If we could run 4 I would. The card I'm not so excited about is Kefnet the Mindful. I don't really like the look of this card, but I feel I'm obliged to run it. I just feel like it looks like a very good, like, interesting control card, and I thought, well, you know what, we'll give it a try. I used to have Liliana in this spot, baby Liliana, and I thought, well, Kefnet's better in the games that go along, but the games against aggro, I think this card will be very ugly against. 7 cards is not a minor drawback. It's very easy to go underneath that. But it's worth a shot, and like I said, I mean, there's a 3-mana 5/5 flying indestructible if you can turn it online, which will close out the game very quickly. Hieroglyphic Illuminations, I am running a lot of card draw, and I think this card's pretty good. It's we run the 3 Glimmers as well, so I don't run all 4 copies of Hieroglyphic Illuminations, but again, the thing I like about this card is that sometimes it's a 4-mana draw 2, which is acceptable, and then sometimes it's a 1-mana if you need to hit a land drop or find a sweeper or something. It's very versatile, and that's why I run 3 copies. I wouldn't say I would run 6 copies of a 4-mana draw 2 effect, but the fact that this is so versatile, cycling is such a versatile mechanic, I thought, hey, we'll try out a bunch of them and we can just cycle to try and hit land drops. And if we've got the mana, we've got the time, we can draw some extra cards. Running 3 sweepers, I found 3 is kind of my golden number for sweepers. I preferred Yehenis over Languish, just because we have Thing in the Ice, and you know, you can also get like a Kefnet or a removal spell or something into play, which is pretty nice. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I think I prefer Yehenis. It is close though. I wouldn't begrudge anyone who run 2 Languish and 1 Yehenis, for example. Then we've got a Planeswalker and Disciple, win conditions, Torrential Gearhulk of course, and here's the spice, Cruel Reality. This is literally why I built the deck. So I was like, what cards haven't I built around yet? So Cruel Reality, and thought, well, it'd be rude not to. It would be rude not to. Probably shouldn't be in the deck, but that's a different story. This card's hilarious. It's just funny. In a deck with so much removal and sweepers and stuff, this will kill your opponent very quickly, and it's very hard to come back from. And then we have our split cards, Never to Return. Surprise, surprise, Planeswalker removal is good if they can sneak past your counterspell shields. used to be screwed if they could sneak past it, but now you have a chance. And commit is also another nice way to get around that if they get past your counterspell shields. You can bounce it straight to the hand and counter it on the way back, and of course you've got the memory synergy, memory read of this card. If each player shuffles a hand and draws 7 cards, that works very well with Torrential Gearhulk, because for some weird reason Torrential Gearhulk can cast memory at instant speed, where memory is normally a sorcery. And that is very huge for memory. Memories, if you've never played with these kind of cards before, instant speed makes them a hell of a lot better, because you basically get first crack at deploying your new hand on the field. Or if you tap out for this, then they get 7 cards and then they get to go first, which is never great. So it gives you the initiative. It's something that might not come up because it is a rare and a mythic, but you know, it is an option. Mana base 2 of the normal tap lands, all the rare lands 9 and 10. I run more black just because we run Grasp of Darkness, and yeah, that's really it. Like, we need double blue for our counter spells, but apart from that, it's pretty much all our black is double black, so I feel it's pretty relevant. So that's our deck, and we'll try and get some games here. This could be just the thing with controls. You're never really sure how it's gonna go. You could sometimes you'll play one game and it'll be a 40-minute grind fest versus another control deck, and then sometimes you'll play a game and you'll get run over in 5 minutes. So it's gonna be one of the two. Hopefully the not the sec. I don't know. Both them situations sound pretty terrible to me. I don't know. Let's just try and get a game where we run over our opponent. As we play X equals speed, and they are on the play, which means our sensors and stuff get a little bit worse, as do our counter spells. 2-lander, nothing else going on, mulligan. 4-lander, at least we've got Cyclone and a Sweeper, so if he is playing aggro we have a chance. Oh, that's it. That's please don't be a control mirror. I know you only played one spell, but I am pretty hoping that it is not a control mirror, because I am not good in control mirrors. Like I said, I'm not really that big of a control mage, and I just don't have the patience for them. I kind of just go, well, if you have the removal, you have the removal. So he has the Temur, so I'm assuming it is not the fateful mirror right now. So I will just deploy my Thing in the Ice, and then next turn I'll be able to grasp Hieroglyphic Illuminations, get this thing flipped, and then we have a Disciple the Win-Win condition. All we're really missing is counter spells, but we aren't running too many. We only run 5 at 3 mana, and then the sensors and stuff. Well, we have the Henny's expertise for the plants. We're not really getting through any time anyway. I don't really want to fire off a Grasp on a plant token just to get a counter off. I'm probably going to deploy Kefnet. Yeah, I'm deploying Kefnet. Kefnet is going to be a great way to pressure that Planeswalker if we are able to. I'm trying to figure out if we can next turn. We have 5. We go down to. No, we can only get to 6 cards in hand next turn, so we won't be able to attack with Kefnet next turn, which is pretty unfortunate. But it's on the field. That means it's going to do stuff. Let's just see if I can do this again. Okay. So we have 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 4, and then draw 2, 6. Yeah, so we can't do it any this turn. So I'll just pass. I'm not really too worried about Nissa unless she's. I mean, we're going to be able to hit Nissa before she ultimates, unless he has like fogs in his deck. So, because like we can attack with it next turn, I think, before we play a land. And of course, we've got the Thing in the Ice as well. But we will see what our opponent does here. We also are now threatening a counter spell, which we don't have, but well, Amonkhet. Well, Amonkhet dies next turn now. He makes the wolf. I might just no. I'm gonna Hieroglyphic Illumination this turn, I think. Okay. Yep. Play a card. I mean, when this Thing in the Ice flips, it will just bounce his entire field, so I'm not entirely sure I want to use Remove as Cruel Reality. Okay, so 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can take down Amonkhet this turn, I think. Take you down. Then just play out my land, I think. could sweep the board. That could be an option. No, I mean, I'll do it like this because I've got a Grasp of Darkness and a counterspell here, so my thing there will flip and I'll be able to kill the Nissa soon, I think. Hopefully, anyway. One black renegade map. So opponent is on like 4 colour? Blue, red, black, green. So only missing white. Yep, not having that resolve. Broken concentration. So I'm probably going to go for the Grasp end of turn here because I need to take that Lyssa down from 7 before she ultimates. So, and I've got no more instants, and then that means I can flip with Yenne's expertise just to at least threaten it next turn. So hopefully we draw a card draw spell instead, but can't really rely on that, unfortunately. And well, we did draw it, which is nice. So I get to, yeah. So we bounce our Kevnet. Hopefully we put a land drop. Bounces all his creatures. Even draws Sensor to cycle, which I probably will cycle at this stage in the game, end step. In fact, I'm probably just going to cycle it now to try and hit my land drop. Seems pretty good. Although if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, if I do cycle, no, I don't have to discard if I don't hit a land, which is fine. Get rewarded, nice. So now we have the Cruel Reality, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we draw a land, we have the Cruel Reality up. And then that will be able to, that'll be pretty nice. I just want to resolve this Cruel Reality. Is it too much to ask? It's probably not the right play. I probably should be going like for Disciple Wing or something, or just even Kefnet. He is playing 5 colour, by the way. 5 colour Planeswalkers, it looks like. Ideally, he taps out for a Sorin here. We draw a land with Cruel Reality, kill a Sorin. That would be the dream. Although he doesn't have double black, so the dream is being crushed. A Johnny as well, I guess. Hey, well, we need to draw the land now, but hopefully we draw the land. Because we can't even play out Kefnek. Oh yeah, we actually kind of really would like to draw the land here. Do run 25? Don't draw it. Nice. Well, looks like it is a Kefnet hold up counterspell turn. I mean, he can get rid of his Obnixilis if he wants to. He can get rid of his Ajani to kill Kefnet, but I mean that would kill his Ajani, which is pretty nice. Not going to counter the Oath and Nissa. So it's in land. Now I've got a counter spell up for his Planeswalker now. Planar Outburst is not going to do anything against an indestructible creature. Our opponent is a fool. A fool, I tell you. And they're probably just going to shame kill their Johnny here. Yeah. No, I can't do anything about that. For a minute I thought I could counter it. I don't have a disallow, unfortunately. Anyway. Ideally we draw the land here just for the bans. I will just slam a Cruelty on the board. Come on game. Well, looks like we're holding up counter spell shields here. I mean, that Planar Outburst did pretty much nothing against me anyway. I guess it kills like a Disciple or like a thing in the ice, so. Something to note here is we do only have one counter spell, and Nahiri is not going to resolve, I'll tell you that for free. I don't particularly want to use the land as well, so I'm not going to awaken either. Yeah. And now the Nahiri's gone, he can't exile my enchantment. Is it right to just spike a Cruel Reality? Somehow I don't think it is. I think I'm going to wait for him to play a Planeswalker. I'm doing it. You know, like I said, I don't have any patience. This is going to resolve. He's not going to have any enchantment removal. He's already used his Nahiri. We're fine. We're fine. Like I said, we're fine. Take 5. And then, like, if we untap with this with, like, double counter spell up, we just can't lose this game. Tamiya, well, that's not really going to save him here. Yeah, it does absolutely nothing. Yeah, it literally does nothing. He might as well have tapped out. You can't even tap down some lands. So now we just untap here, and now we've got double counter spells up as well. How have I got 32 life? How did I gain life this game? Ah, the Ajani. I'm just going to pass here. I mean, this Cruel Reality will just drain our opponent of any hope here. He has to sacrifice the Tamio, and then we have double counterspell shields. Like I said, we have a Disciple of the Ring if we really want to get disgusting, but I'll happily wait here. I've got a removal spell, a sweeper. Yeah. I'll just leave here. I don't see any reason to play this one out. The police have arrived. It's that's a generally sign the ambulance is taking our opponent away. But yeah, I mean that game's over. There's very little our opponent can do to get out of that unless I misplay, which is a possibility. But you know, when I'm an immaculate control mage like that, Crew Reality, best card MVP. Nah, that's a pretty good matchup for control. To be fair, I mean I didn't really counter too many planeswalkers, but I just had the board under control. And our opponent was 5 colour, so they weren't exactly off to the most aggressive start. But yeah, control mages love the Planeswalker matchup in general, just because they can't. It's so nice being able to counter anything. Anywho, game 2, we're on the play this time. We have a 2-lander with the psych. Yeah, I'll speculate. We have the Hieroglyphic Illumination if we don't hit a land drop, and then we have a removal spell, Thing in the Ice. I think it's acceptable. It's not like I wouldn't write home about it, but you know, I would tell some friends in private I kept this hand. Who's our opponent today? I normally make fun of the name, but Elford is pretty bulletproof as far as ridicule goes. Well, if he doesn't play any lands, I'll have plenty of ammo, but no, okay, he does. Question is, do we hold up Grasp? But nah, who am I kidding? I'm going to play a Thing in the Ice. Like I said, no patience. It's kind of one of the conflicts in this deck where you run 2 Thing in the Ice plus a Jace, and then you also have Sensors and stuff in your deck. But I like Thing in the Ice. What can I say? There's very rarely something you want to counter on turn 2. But if I'm playing like a Toolage deck, I will absolutely hold up Sensor over play a Thing in the Ice, because we can't really beat we can't really beat a Toolage. Okay, looks like we're playing an aggressive deck. Well, we have the Grasp of Darkness and we have the counterspell here, and he has to use energy just to be able to punch through. So we do also. Okay, that was a good draw because now we can hold up counterspell and Grasp. And now I don't even need to cycle Hieroglyphic because I've got my 4th land. So yeah. Like I said, the versatility. If I didn't hit my land drop, I could have cycled it. Now that I've hit my land drops, I can cast it, which is pretty nice. I do want to be careful because I think like a Bristling Hydra takes priority to counter, and so I want to be careful with what I do counter here. But if I'll probably take the hit for 4 if he pays the energy. Okay, he does. I mean, yeah, I'll take the hit for 4 here. Yeah, I mean I'll kill end step if he does nothing, but I think I'm on 60. Life is a resource. Life is a resource. I'll just keep mirroring that to myself. If he does nothing, I'll kill it. If he does something, I'll decide whether I want to counterspell or kill that at end of turn. And like we can just flip our Thing in the Ice. That's pretty nice as well. Blood Rage Brawler. I'll let that one resolve because he has to discard. What does he discard? He discards a Harness Lightning. Okay. I will kill that thing end step now, because he has to keep paying energy for this bad boy at least, and that thing's already got his minus value, so that's the turn. I've got a Never if he plays a Planeswalker now, which I like. It's always another removal spell is also pretty nice. Lets me be more careful with my counter spell. But it is sorcery speed, which is difficult, but we've drawn 2 cards end of turn here, we have a Jace, so yeah. I'll go down to 12. I am taking 2 hits here, but again, I feel comfortable doing so. 12 life is still a pretty nice cushion here. And if our opponent is playing a Blood Rage Brawler like that, I don't think the hand is too action-packed if they're playing the Blood Rage Brawler on turn 2. Kenra Charioteer. That thing doesn't really do much, so I'll let that one resolve. I will draw my cards. Ideally, we draw into Yahenni's Expertise. I can even just bounce that with a Jace if I really wanted to, as the police come again. Jesus Christ, I live in a war zone. Okay, we draw a tap land, which is pretty unfortunate. Now we have a choice. Now we have a choice. Do we Never or do we Scatter? I'm scared of like a Glory Bringer, so I think I kind of have. Well, I mean, we could counter the Glory Bringer. I was gonna say I have to never it, but I mean, we take 4 here without. Yeah, I'm gonna hold up counter spell. I think because I mean we can just bounce off this thing. Yeah, and if you just, I mean, we can counter his energy source as well. So I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that, but we have the Obnixilis to minus next turn. I don't want to get too low is the problem here. I have two big hits. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So we'll go down to 9, I guess. We also have the thing there, so if we can flip that soon, that would be pretty nice. Because it would just buy me so much time. What have we got here? I think we're at the stage where we start countering stuff. Which makes me wonder if I should have counted the last one then, but I'm fine with that. I stand by my decision. Oh, I knew it. I knew I'd draw it. I knew I'd draw it. Yeah, it's too good to pass up. It's too good to pass up. Ah, it sucks so bad. If we top deck that, I could have kept the counter spell. I mean, it sucks. But at least I get hit my opponent for 4. I have 2 planeswalkers and a removal spell, so he needs like a assortment of haste creatures here, and our opponent is stuck on 3 lands. So, like if they just deploy out the Kenra Charioteer again, Obnixilis minus, and then I'll just or Jace minus actually probably, because if he's stuck on mana, Jace minus is probably better. And then well, that doesn't do too much for our opponent here. He did have the option to play the other creature first, and then he would have been able to keep the creature on the field, which I think is better for him. So I think that was a slider. Yeah, if he played this one out first, I think he could have kept it on the field. So that was a minor misstep by our opponent, unless he wants the energy. But now we're just going to play a tempo game here with Jace. And start smacking our opponent for a lot of damage here. Like, we've got him on a very, very potent clock, and we'll be drawing like an extra card next turn. Obnixilis is another removal spell, so we're drawing a lot of cards coming up next. We even have like the Never return to like exile something if we need like an extra blocker at some point. But yeah, with our opponent stuck on lands, it's going to be difficult here. Although they will be able to play 2 threats, I think, this turn now. But we have the Obnixilis and another JS minus, which is pretty brutal for our opponent if we need it. Ooh, Pier and Kieran Law is pretty good. Yeah, don't want to bounce that, I'll tell you that for free. So I think first things first, I want to plus with Jace. Try and look for some more action here. Don't really want to land. Well, guess we're getting one anyway. Obnixilis minus on them, and then he can send his Thopters to kill it. But oh no, we can kill a Thopter and then he can't kill the... I think that's probably better. We Obnixilis minus on the P and Kieran, and then we never on a Thopter. And then he can't kill the Obnixilis, and we'll be drawing like 4 cards next turn. Which seems pretty good. Now I guess has a tough decision on whether to chump or not. If I'm him, I almost think it's not right to chump. Because, I mean, a blue-black X not going to have any direct burn. And, like, if he has, like, a pump spell in hand, maybe he can take one of our planeswalkers off the board. Yeah, it's a tough decision. I don't blame him either way there. The thing is here, he's now dead if I draw, like, if I can, you know, if I draw, like, a removal spell or something, I can't kill him here. And Jace counts as 1 removal spell already. So he needs to play at least 2 creatures here. And, I mean, if we draw, like... There's lots of good draws in that deck. Disciple the Ring would just end it. Cruel Reality is pretty good. Even the second thing, guys, isn't terrible. But, we know he has that thing in hand. We know he has the Green Pelt Rampager and another Kenra Charioteer. Yeah. So if he has the second one of them, things could be problematic. And if he has the second Green Pelt Rampager, we're in trouble. Otherwise, I think we're fine. Because we just have so much advantage going on here. See what we draw. commit's pretty good. First things first, I'll take up Orb. See what we draw. Languish ends the game, so we'll play that, I think. I will. Okay, we got the commit anyway, so we don't need to like plus Jace for the counterspell shields. Yeah, so we got there. Like I said, there was a lot of good draws for us right there. So it's one of them things where maybe they should have chumped last turn because they would have. Yeah, I mean, if they chumped last turn, they did have another turn there. So it's something to note. But I doubt they were getting out of that situation anyway. That is game 2, another win, another draw that. He got stuck on lands, and we had a lot of. Our draw wasn't terrible either, so that wasn't really like the most exciting display. I do think I did. I think I was right to take the damage early. You know, green red does have a lot of powerful creatures which may need a counterspell. So just like you play like a Ronus or a Bristling Hydra, like I was talking about. I'm in really big trouble then. So I stand by my decision respectfully, and let's see if Control Mage Nighthawk can get the 3-0 with his Dimir list. I don't know. This deck's not terrible. It's definitely could be more refined. Like I said, I would not copy this deck, as there's plenty of better control players out there. But hey, this hand is not key. I mean, Double Grasp is tempting, but if he's playing Planeswalker, we just lose. We've got a Cycler. I don't know, maybe I should have mulliganed this. In fact, looking back, I probably should have mulliganed this as well. But we do get a draw if we draw like an untapped land. Our draw looks a lot better. This is definitely a hand where we're probably cycling hieroglyphics. I don't know. In hindsight, I probably would have mulliganed this. I don't know. Is this 7 worse than the 6 is the question. It's not exciting, I'll tell you that for free. We have no counters, but we have. It's going to be very slow off the play. I'd feel a lot more excited on the play with this hand, but that's a good draw. So I'm probably going to cycle this realistically. Just try and I don't see. I mean, I think I'm feeling under the pressure here rather than if we're playing white green. He's probably an aggressive deck. So although he is passing the turn back. Are we cycling or are we holding? I'm cycling. We have 2 more on the deck. We have a big card draw spell already, so I'm feeling okay here. And you know, if we like drew a sensor, if we drew into like a sensor or a thing in the ice, there I would feel a lot more secure. And if he does nothing this turn, then I'll feel fine because I can hold a broken concentration for his Gideon. Because if he's keeping this hand, he's not doing anything till turn 4. He has to have a Gideon. It's the only explanation. But no. Okay, yeah, I am 100% holding up Gideon here. I mean, I'm holding up counterspell for his Gideon. I guess I've got Never as well, but it's obviously much better to counter the Planeswalker. So now I'm kind of starting to regret cycling that hieroglyphic because I could have drawn an extra card here, but if our opponent's doing nothing. But I feel I was right too. White-green is normally aggressive. What is that? Reclamation Sage? Yep, fine with that. It's just a 2-1. Absolutely fine with that. Tapland? Yeah, I guess so. Get it out of the way. I might just pull like next turn, draw 3, discard 1, just because I'm doing nothing with my mana. Depends what our opponent does, of course. If he gives us targets to counter spell, then I will fire them off. But we will see. I mean, I'm getting hit for 2. This is a lot less than the Volcanic Brawl I was taking last turn. Like I said, we knew it. We knew it the minute he did nothing for the first 4 turns. We knew it. And yeah, you just tried to bait us out there. but yeah, I mean, I'd keep the hand as well if I was him. Gideon's that powerful; it can just win a game by itself. But it is something to keep in mind. So I think I am firmly in. If my opponent does nothing, I'll pull for 3. And then if he does do something, obviously I'll just counterspell it or commit it or something. Bygone Bishop with a counter. I'm not sure if that's worth a hard counter. I think that's worth a commit, I think. Because like if he waits 2 turns to just do nothing, just to play that thing again, it's like low impact enough that I don't mind him redrawing it later on. if it was like a creature, he's just going to replay like next turn. But that thing's not like the most exciting play, so we don't want him to have it on the field. But at the same time, I'm not upset with him if he ever eventually resolves it. Okay, now we draw on Yehenni's X. See, that was another reason. Now we can just Yehenni's it, so all is well. I mean, he's not going to draw it this turn, but the turn after he'll draw it. So I'll probably try and hold this Yehenni's Expertise for then. Yep, that thing draws him a land, but I'm not too bothered about that. It actually shuffles his deck funnily, so he's not going to redraw that. He's not going to redraw his Bygone Bishop, but we have the sweeper for next turn if we need it. And we can even hold up a counterspell as well, so yeah. We are fine here. Westville Abbey could be a problem. We don't want him to get too excited here. And we'll draw my cards. Draw 4, seems pretty good. What are we getting rid of? Wow, we didn't hit a land, that's pretty rough. Censor can go, I think. Bit late for Censor. Glimmer of Genius is really nice. I will... Yehenni's, I think. Yehenni's, kill, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can even hold up a counterspell afterwards, that seems pretty good. Nothing to cast off it, unfortunately, but we're fine. We've got a Glimmer of Genius, a Disciple, so we can close out this game very quickly here. Plenty of removal, so I'm feeling pretty confident. The only thing that's worried me is this thing, because this thing can get out of hand. We've got Commit is our only way to kill it, if he ever resolves it. Okay, well we can't Glimmer, unfortunately. I think I will get Disciple on the field. Well, Disciple can hold it back forever, I guess, but Disciple plus 3 mana seems decent, I think. Or I could just Glimmer. That seems pretty good as well. Yeah, I'll Glimmer first, I think. Get as much mana as possible before Disciple gets good. Yeah, he's going to activate that thing. Not too worried about that. If we can Glimmer, and then we'll have like 20 mana, and then we'll play a Disciple next turn, and then we'll be fine, I think. Torrential Gearhulk's a pretty good draw, but that thing is not resolving. Do we make the land is the question. No, because I want to Glimmer as well on the same turn. So this is gone. We'll draw 4 cards, and then Kefnet would be a draw I'd be in the works for, I think. Cruel Reality as well is pretty nice. Yeah, Cruel Reality is another answer to to Westville Abbey. Yeah, let's draw cards. What are we after? Don't think I want land. I'll bottom them too. See what we draw. And then Censor, we're going to cycle it. Yes, we are. Bit late in the game for that now. Draw some more lands. And then Grasp of Darkness. Yep, time to get Disciple on the field, I feel. Pass with 4 mana up. We have a counter spell as well if he plays like a Deck and Stone, I think. Lone Rider. Let that resolve. We've got the Grasp of Darkness. End step if we need it. Reclamation Sage. Yeah, we'll let that resolve as well. Do nothing. Wouldn't mind a second sweeper here, but I think I'll kill that Lone Rider end step. Can't see anything much better to grasp. We also have 2 more removals that'll sitting back. We are steadily running out of action though, but I will attack here. We can like one-shot our opponent if he doesn't be careful. Could flashback Commit, but I'm not going to do that. When I've still got cards in hand. Might flashback 1 Never. Oh, actually it's in our hand, so yeah. I'm not going to Never a Reclamation Sage. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, but I mean if I had Never in the graveyard I would have flashed it back here. I'm losing track of what's in my graveyard and what's in my hand. But yeah. Oh, we'll untap you. You have to have the trick, my friend. Got plenty of action for it. We'll get rid of Hieroglyphic. Block. Okay, if I could have a pump spell, we've got the counter spell. Maybe you just forgot. Doesn't really. Nothing to do, so I'll pass. There's a second commit. Pretty nice if he does have to flip that Westphal. How many instants do we have? That's the question. Because if he taps out here, we could maybe potentially go for it. 48, we have 8, 11 mana, so we can get to 14 power. So we can't kill him this turn either way. So we might as well not pump this turn if we're going to go in like that. Bless Alliance. That thing's probably going to eat a counter spell, I think. So if he goes all in with the 6. No, he's playing 2. Oh yeah, because I've got Disciple in the field, it'd be crazy to do that. Is it worth a counter spell? I think it is. Disciples is too good here. And I will awaken my land now, just try and go for the throat here. Because I mean we've still got commit up as well, so. And we're now threatening lethal pretty scarily here. It's weird that he paired with the Westphal. Could he have no, he couldn't have activated Westphal and played Blessed Alliance. Thalia I'll just commit in, well I'll just never it, won't I? So yeah, I think it's fine. Angelic Destiny. Well, that thing will now get bounced. Because he's dead next turn now, so yeah, we've won this game. So yeah, this is Control in a nutshell. I mean, Disciple of the Ring is just such an impossible card to stop, so... never. Now, get ready for Trigger Hell, as we call it. I'm just gonna... Hopefully our opponent concedes and just makes it easy for us, because this can go on for a while. Look at this. It's like I'm playing a first-person shooter. Okay. That's why I bring a mouse. No, don't normally use a mouse when I record. And when I play Duels, but when I'm playing this deck, I guarantee you I get my mouse out. Probably should just turn on auto yield after this as well. I will do that. For those of you who ask why I don't have auto yield on, just in general, it's because my Marionette Master deck gets a bit spicy if you don't have auto yield on, and it's obviously not something you want to play on. Auto resolution here, of course, if you were wondering what I was after. Means all my Disciple triggers resolve at once. It's a bit easier on the life, and then well, they should all I guess they don't all resolve at once. So never mind. But, exactly lethal here, so that was nice. I could have probably gotten more damage if I just tapped down the Disciple, but I was pretty sure I had lethal anyway, although it was closer than I thought. So we did manage to go the coveted 3-0 with the control deck. And yeah, well, if our opponent stops watching damage effects. There we go. So, as it turns out, I am just, basically I am Jace. I'm Jace incarnate is what I am. And we still didn't do our quest, because we didn't play much black spells. But all is well. That is Control. I promise I will never put you through the... No, Control's fun. Like I said, sometimes you get the itch to just want to make people miserable. And that is what Control does pretty well. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.